Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of General Geekery. I am Brian, and with me, as always, is JD.
Hello.
Just kind of a random episode today. I think one of the things that JD and I are both looking forward to in a couple weeks, the Amazon Prime series, uh, not series, season two of Fallout starts, and I just recently rewatched season one and just absolutely loved it again and am really looking forward to season two. Um, and yeah, looking forward to that coming out. Uh, we went to the Running Man movie, which was really good. They really followed the Stephen King book pretty closely, as opposed to just a remake of the original Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, which I thought was fantastic. Um, so Emily, my wife and I had both we sat down. I made her sit down and watch the movie, the original movie with me, and then we both read the book. I reread the book. I read the book in high school, um, and then went to the new movie. And they did a really good job of it, of following the book.
Is the old movie less adaptation, more Arnold Schwarzenegger movie?
100%. It is pure Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It follows the book not at all, other than the
Oh, so they used the title and just said fuck it to the rest of it.
pretty much the main character's name is the same. That's about it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Why not just call it something else and you know, but
don't know.
the
It was the 80s, and it was Schwarzenegger was hot, and that's all they wanted was another Schwarzenegger movie.
that's true. He was big in the 80s, and little did they know he'd be even bigger in the 90s.
Yeah.
But
Um, but
yeah,
most
I
people
took
at that point in time didn't know the book was written by Stephen King because he was using a pen name at the time. Uh,
uh
so the book is originally by Stephen Bachman, which is a pen name for Stephen King. So a lot like at the time, a lot of people didn't know that that was a Stephen King book.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they could get away with making a movie that was more of a Schwarzenegger movie because some guy named Stephen Bach wrote a book one time.
Yeah,
Ah,
and in the movie credits for the original one, the screenplay is by Stephen Bachman. I mean, they don't even give it credit to
oh wow, okay. Um,
or Richard
so
Bachman, sorry, Richard Bachman.
so the new movie, it's set in a dystopian setting, right? So like from what I understand, it's pretty faithful to the book. So does it seem kind of depressing watching a dystopian movie right now?
Yeah, because it doesn't seem like it seems like it's set maybe a couple months in the future.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the
It
very near future.
yeah,
Um,
it kind of is. It's like ooh, some of it hits really close to home. Some, I mean, like some of the stuff's like probably already happened, and some of the stuff's like could happen tomorrow or next week, and it's like, yeesh. So,
every
y-
time I open Facebook, I worry about the horrors I'm about to see.
yeah, pretty much. The original story was written. I found this interesting. I just found this out a couple days ago that the original story he wrote in 1973. So, I mean, it was
Wow,
very, yeah, it's very prophetic. Um, just the kind of proliferation of at the time it was TV, but it was kind of like hinted at the precursor of social media, and yeah, it's eerily predictive of today. I mean,
you
it
know
pretty
all
interesting.
these all these sci-fi books in the past, written by authors who were they're telling allegory and stuff, and the whole thing is it's like a warning not to do certain things in the because these things can be prevented, and then you realize at some point, shit, it didn't work.
Uh,
Worked for a little while, didn't work for good.
Yeah,
Um,
I think one of those big ones is Terminator. It's like
uh-huh.
I grew up,
Um,
it's like, man, never trust AI. And man, you can't swing a dead cat and some idiots on Facebook doing stupid shit with AI. And it's just
yeah,
like,
because you know what? Well, that doesn't translate to robots that are going to kill us yet. We're making the AI in our computers smarter every day.
and we're taking ourselves, we're doing less. We're
Uh,
some of the stuff that I've seen even at work in my job, they're like, yeah, I don't do this. I have the AI do it. And it's like, why exactly?
um, I don't. Yeah, I don't know how useful it is. I'm not particularly keen to find out. And I really hate to think that at some point I'll ever be reliant on it, but why risk it? I'll just, I'll just I'll just start not using it, and then I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, my camera keeps doing this jittery thing because when I open Zoom, there was a little box that popped up that asked if I that the camera would automatically find me if I was moving around. And I just hit whatever, accept or whatever, because I'm like, I don't move around. I don't, I'm not going to get up and walk around. It doesn't have to follow me. So I just click the OK button. Well, what I've discovered watching this thing is that as I fidget, sometimes the camera fidgets too. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to figure out how to turn that off because I imagine anybody who's actually watching us instead of just listening to us, are probably gonna think that something's wrong. But yeah, it's a setting on Zoom that I didn't think would have any impact on me, and now it's irritating the shit out of me.
I had a whole bunch of pop-ups for new settings when I opened Zoom, and I just like, nope, 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 nope.
We
So
have enough trouble managing it as it is.
yeah,
Um,
it just starts doing stuff that I don't want it to do, so I just turn it all off when it's like, hey, do you want to try? I'm like, no, I do not. Thank you. Uh
um,
the Not a lot of new toy announcements. I think one of the things that got announced and has been released since our last episode was the newest wave of Super 7 Reaction Plus figures, which was a new Cobra Commander, which nobody wanted. The Snake Eyes with the like glowy red parts from the Mass Device cartoon, which I've seen a lot of people say it's a cool figure, but please stop making Snake Eyes figures. Which I Yeah, everybody's
you
tired
know,
of Snake Eyes figures. Everybody's been tired of Snake Eyes figures for the last 20 years.
I,
So
I'm more keen on seeing. I'm 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 less annoyed by the Snake Eyes figures because at least for the most part they're all pretty different from each other.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, there was this guy, and then the follow up in the winter coat. It's this guy with the coat, but all right, I get it. But I mean, the red glowy guy is okay. I'm more keen to see extra versions of Snake Eyes from them than I am fucking Cobra Commander. There's really only so much you can do with Cobra Commander, especially the version one. And they've now done all of it. They did a winter coat version, they did a cape version, they did a plain version, they did a fucking Python Patrol version. That's enough with version one Cobra Commander. Make another Cobra Commander, make a later version, make the battle armor version.
I was
Who
gonna say,
cares?
yeah, I was gonna say,
Um,
uh, also in that wave is a Arctic Scarlet from the cartoon, and of course the figure that JD and I both wanted, which was Mara.
yeah, I mean, I'll say this for Arctic Scarlet. At least she's got the separate the piece for the bottom of the parka is separate around her waist. It is not sculpted to the legs.
I
So
absolutely fucking detest that. That is so fucking lazy. I
yeah,
would,
because at Target this morning I saw Snake Eyes in the movie Arctic Coat, and he's got the same, as Cobra Commander where the parka sculpt. I'm like, that's horrible. But at least with Scarlet, it is a separate piece. It is directly out of the Mass Device. episode arc. It looks just like her. I figure if this is, admittedly, I didn't think we'd have to wait more than a series or two before we'd finally see Scarlet from the Reaction Plus line. And I'm a little bit surprised that the first one we're seeing is the Arctic version, but it's a version of Scarlet that we've never gotten in any action figure form before. And I expect that they will quickly follow this up with the normal leotard Scarlet at some point, because the Super 7 or the Reaction 5 point of articulation Scarlet is the figure that I took this head off of.
Yeah.
And I expect at some point in the near future, they will give, yeah, version 1 Scarlet a Reaction Plus figure. And if the head sculpt looks anything as good as that, people are going to go crazy to buy it.
Yeah.
Um,
The other thing that got released, which I said I would unbox on the show, but I haven't gotten mine. Loyal subjects have finally gotten wave
ah,
of the mask stuff out, with the notable exception of the Big Bad Toy Store bundle, because the bundle, the Rhino, you could either get it just plain, just the regular how it came as a when we were kids, or there was a special one that came with Scott Tracker and T-Bob, and I'm like,
ah,
if I'm gonna spend the money, I'm gonna go all in on it. So I bought the bundle with the T-Bob and Scott, and who knows where that is.
I
So I
saw
do not have it.
pictures. I saw pictures yesterday posted on Facebook, and I saw the Scott and T Bob, and my first thought was, are those the vintage ones? Because I didn't realize that they were getting new versions,
Yeah.
and I'm impressed that Scott also, like the adults, has a face paint. He's got paint on his face. That's a nice touch. But the T Bob, I really couldn't tell if it was new or vintage because it is so faithful to the original design. I honestly thought maybe somebody had stuck their vintage figures in with the new ones because I didn't realize they were making them. Miles Mayhem's little whatever that thing is that he flies around in. I have never noticed before how much it looks like it could have been a Batman vehicle, but I like it.
Yeah.
The semi truck looks really good, and the two figures that come with it. I saw that. Now, why do they come with? Okay, the helmets include visor clips, so it's got like this energy thing.
Yeah, it
But
has,
why do they each have two of the same basic helmet, but the configurations different? Why is that?
I think there is a variation between like the cartoon and the the original like toy.
Oh, okay. So they made toy accurate helmets and cartoon accurate helmets
I think so. I'd
that
have
can
to
be.
look at that a little
Ah,
closer, and I'm not a
hi, Alice.
yeah, she heard
Oh,
you.
she's leaving. Hi, Alice. I just noticed she was there.
Yep. Yeah. Uh I would have to look at that again. I didn't have that particular vehicle as a kid, and I'm number one, I'm sick of seeing people bitching about the price. Um, just it drives me crazy that people can't do math and don't know that inflation is a thing. People want 80s toys at 80s prices, and that isn't going to happen. I saw somebody like do the math on inflation on what the original vehicles cost and what they would cost today, and the what the loyal subjects are putting out would be cheaper than what the original vehicles were back in the 80s.
Oh, so
Accumulation.
everybody bitching about the prices being too high on these. You're actually getting a break if you think about it in a non-linear sort of way.
Yeah. As
Interesting.
somebody, yeah, the these were expensive back in the day, back in the 80s. These were expensive toys. Not a lot of people had, I mean, a fair number of people had them, but not they were not as common because of the the complexity of the toys. and they were expensive back then. And I think it's interesting that, people are bitching about how they're so expensive and they weren't this expensive back in the day, when in fact they were probably more expensive.
Yeah, most toys back then were a lot cheaper. I would like to see the inflation comparison with
It's
most
really
with
interesting because they did it for each one of the vehicles, and I think they said the Rhino, the semi, was like 20 or 35 dollars at the time. And yeah, of course today that's a 6-inch action figure. But back then, that in 1980s, that was a lot of money.
that. Yeah, because most GI Joe vehicles were like 20, um, or I mean they had the smaller ones that came in at lower price points, but I think I think most of the expensive vehicles they're the bigger ones like the Havoc, the Conquest. I think they were like $20, like top of the. So if Mask was more than that, well, then it probably is comparable to what they've got today. And honestly, people just have shit memories. Everything is colored by some sort of nostalgia. And in this case, it's not nostalgia for the toy lines, it's nostalgia for the way the world used to work.
Yeah,
And it's just not that way anymore, guys. The prices are not coming down on these things. They're only going to keep getting more expensive.
yeah.
And then you just get picky and choosy with what you get. And, but and if these loyal subject ones come in with good quality and they don't have issues, it'll be. I feel like the value will be there for what you're paying because honestly, I've been looking at the pictures and anybody who's listened to us for any more than an episode or two knows that I'm not a Mask fan. I never was, but I'm looking at these. I'm like, these are really nice looking toys.
They look
Um,
fantastic. I cannot wait to get them in hand. Again, as kind of like a precursor to our year-end show, I am leaving a gap open in my top 10 acquisitions list for the possibility of these to be on that list. Um, because I think that the quality looks fantastic. They are not remolds, they are not remasters, they are from scratch, built from scratch, new molds, everything, like new mechanisms for the transformations, everything. Um, that I I really think that the value is going to be there. I'm just really tired of waiting for them. So
I mean, at least some people have them, so you know your wait's almost over. Um,
I figured that I haven't. I think one of the things also that's really pissing people off is that the loyal subjects have not been very forthcoming about delays. They could have done a lot better job with social media. And I mean, we see updates. I think we're spoiled by people like Skeletron and Longbow who do updates monthly, whether or not, and Marauder who like when we have something to tell you, we will tell you the second we have it. They don't sugarcoat it. They're like, the second we know something, you know something. And I think loyal subjects should have taken a page from that book and been like, hey, it's been a month since our last update. We don't have anything new to tell you. We're still waiting from stuff from the factory. It's on a boat. It's in customs, whatever. I think they kind of and it sounds like they don't respond to like emails and social media posts. And it's like you hire one guy for that.
I
And
was gonna say most companies, I think they have one or two people that yeah they do the PR and the social media stuff, and this way people can be in the loop and yeah, and they hire people specifically for that are tech savvy because they can do it all. They can go crazy with the marketing with the help from marketing. It sounds like the loyal subjects needs to hire somebody to do.
Yeah, because all of the social media stuff that
Or
I've seen has been through uh people like us, people that do toy reviews on YouTube and social media, and it's not been through loyal subjects. So um I really think they missed a bet at I don't know if it would have gotten them more business necessarily, but it probably would have put out some campfires that they didn't need have burning.
yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't know. The first four vehicles are out. The deluxe right now we're just waiting on the deluxe version of the semi, which is called the Rhino in the vintage toys. They did not get the we're not able to secure the trademarks for the Rhino or the Switchblade, which is Miles Mayhem's vehicle. So they have different names. Um, and I'm also getting tired of people bitching about that too. It's like,
It can't be helped. It
no,
it there it is. It's
we
it's
see that every
legal
show.
reasons why they can't use those names. Just shut up. Call in your head. If you buy it, you can call it whatever the hell you want to call
Exactly.
it.
The
It
second it comes out of that box, it's the Rhino. I don't care what it says on the
what
box. I'm not keeping the box. I'm not. I'm gonna
what do
I'm
they
gonna show
call
the
it?
box on. I'm gonna show the box on our show, and then it's gonna go in the garbage. I'm not even keeping
Yeah.
the box. I'm done keeping boxes for stuff, and I'm not. I these are not going to stay in the box. I cannot fucking wait to tear into these things. Um,
Um. What did they name the rhino in this?
it
I'm
was.
just curious.
I think it was something like Mobile Command Center or something like that. I
Um.
don't remember right off the top of my head. I could look it up on Big Bad Toy Store, but it was some sort of like mobile command center. Uh,
uh, I.
it,
You know what? It's a semi truck, and the guy driving it probably has a walkie-talkie, and he can say cool things like "10-4, good buddy," and who cares what it's actually called? Um.
yeah,
The the yeah, I mean, like I said, I was looking at those pictures for a while yesterday. I think I've looked at pictures of these new mass toys for a collective time period longer in the last month than I ever did when I was a child. Looking at the flyers and catalogs and commercials for things because I remember I had the one vehicle I had Matt Tracker's little gull wing doors car, and that's exactly why I bought it because I'm fascinated by any cars that whose doors went like this.
yeah.
Yeah, the DeLorean, love that shit just because of the doors. But um, I don't. I remember it came with the catalog, and I did look at it, but I think I spent more time looking at high quality pictures of these new ones, and I'm like, they look good. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with future releases to see if they're consistent quality wise and paint wise because honestly I didn't see any shitty paint jobs or anything.
No,
So
no. What I've seen, they look fantastic. I'm curious to see. They have not set a date for. They have announced what vehicles are going to be in the second wave, and we've talked about that on previous episodes. Um, they haven't set a date for those pre-orders yet. I will mention.
Recall, the
Uh,
cat just puked.
oh,
Um
I will definitely mention on whatever episode that we happen to do when those pre-orders go live. Um, Other than that, I don't think that there's been any like big toy announcements since our last episode.
um I took Blake to go see Predator Badlands.
Ah, yes.
He he's aware of Predator because of its relationship with the Alien series because he really likes xenomorphs and stuff. He
Right.
hadn't seen any of the Predator stuff, but we watched the trailer because I wanted to go see it last weekend, um, or the first weekend it was out when I had him, but I turned the trailer on so we could watch it. And sometimes when I turn the trailers on, he's like, eh. So I end up just waiting a couple days and I go see it by myself when they
Right.
don't have him. But in this case, he's like, yeah, let's go see it. I'm like, yes. So we went to see it, and fuck, that was a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. It's directed by the same guy who directed and produced Prey, with the
Ah, yes.
so it's it's a different beast of a movie, but honestly, it's really fucking good. It's a lot of fun. Um, the uh,
I saw
the
Adam.
guy who plays the guy who plays the Yautja. You know what? Until this movie, I didn't realize that the predator species had a name. I didn't realize they were called the Yautja until
Yeah,
this where they say it on screen a bunch of times, and I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool. I mean, I suppose if I'd looked into it, I could have figured that out. It was just one of those things that
it's
I
canon
didn't have any.
20,
And
25 years, I think.
yeah, so yeah, and see, I didn't realize I missed all that. But in fact, there's a couple of Predator movies that I still haven't seen that now I feel like I should probably go back and see. Um,
I
like
think
the 2017 version, I didn't see.
I didn't
Um,
see any of the Aliens versus Predator movies, but I've watched all of the like standalone Predator movies. I didn't hate any of them. But the first two are definitely the like clear winners there.
um, I think I'm gonna. I started watching Alien Earth. Uh,
Ah,
on Disney Plus. I watched the first few episodes. It was pretty good. I haven't gone back to it. I have to be in the mood to watch shows that I have to pay a lot of attention to because like, otherwise you miss stuff. But um, I watched Prometheus last week. You
it,
know, I
okay.
remember a lot of complaining about that on the internet. I didn't think it was bad, but I didn't really get anything out of the experience of watching it either.
No.
Um, it's very impressive. The scale of everything was awesome to see, but there's not a lot of questions that are asked, but there's even fewer questions answered or explained. So, and then I thought,
It's just some interesting nods to the 79 movie. As an aside, before I forget, I wanted to mention that
yeah,
Alien or Predator 2, when it came out, it was very distracting to have Danny Glover as the star because that was at the height of the Lethal Weapon series.
so everybody was seeing Murtaugh without Riggs fighting a predator, um,
And
or Yautja.
Gary Busey was in Predator 2. He was also in the first Lethal Weapon movie. So
Oh yeah, because he was Mr. Joshua. It's been so many years since I saw Predator 2 that I forgot he was in there. But this has so watching Prometheus, I was gonna watch Alien Covenant, but I haven't yet. I
either.
I did go back and watch Predator again. I'm gonna go back and watch Predator 2. After I asked Blake if he wanted to watch what he wanted to watch next, and he wants to watch Aliens versus Predator because he already loved the xenomorphs, and now he's liking the Yautja. So I understand he wants to see the crossover, and then I didn't see the second one, so assuming he likes the first one, he'll probably want to watch the second one. It could be like Tremors, where he wants to keep going until a certain point, or it could be like we watched the Meg about the giant shark, and then we saw the Meg 2 in theaters. We've gone back to watch the Meg a few times. We have not gone back to watch the Meg 2. I have a feeling if and when there's a Meg 3, I have a feeling we won't be going to the theater to see it. So
There.
we're gonna watch Aliens versus Predator this weekend. Because I got him Friday, and then we're gonna see what he wants to watch after that. I have a feeling he'll really like Aliens, but we'll work our way up to it. We'll watch it whatever he wants, order he wants to watch him in. But I I just remember Alien Resurrection being really bad, so I'm not looking forward to visiting that one because
Don't
Blake was telling me he had watched like informational videos about the xenomorphs and the different stages of the xenomorphs, and those videos always include the xenomorph human hybrid that Ripley was carrying, and when she was in utero, and Blake just showed me it, and I'm like, wow, that is so disturbing.
Yeah.
I've questioned if I want to watch the movie again, but he's already said that we might, so I'm like, all right, that's fine. But uh, I never saw the last two Predators. I've never seen the second Alien versus Predator, and don't think um, I don't even know if I've ever seen Alien 3 all the way. I understand.
I'm one of the few people that actually liked Alien 3, so I don't know. I I
Um,
I saw why people didn't like it, but I thought it was a very unique take on it. I absolutely hated the fact that they killed um Hicks and Newt.
no, yeah.
I thought that was just that was like that ruined almost ruined Aliens for me. But once you get past that, I actually rather enjoyed the rest of Aliens 3. I have
The
now Resurrections, is that the one with
one you hate, Winona Ryder. You hate Winona
you
Ryder.
hate one, but um God, who was in that? There was a oh, now I gotta look that up. Hang on a
I
sec.
don't. Other than her and Sigourney Weaver, I can't remember. Uh, I know there's a bunch of people that went on to become bigger stars later, but I'm not actually sure who any of those people are off the top of my head.
Ron
Um,
Perlman was who I was thinking of.
ah, oh well, yeah, he had quite a career after that.
Yeah, and Brad Dourif was in it
Griff,
too.
um, he is nobody plays the psycho quite like he does.
Yeah, no kidding.
Um,
So
um,
yeah, it actually has a fairly decent cast. I don't, I know I've seen that one once, maybe twice, and I think that's about when I stopped watching Aliens. I haven't
um,
seen anything since Resurrection.
we, uh, yeah, so we watched Predator Badlands. It's good. It's fun. It's all set on alien worlds, but
Right.
um, like one of those worlds is a kill you planet. Everything on the planet can kill you, and I'm like, whoa. I mean, it's loud. It's fun. It doesn't really stop to breathe. It's awesome.
Yeah,
So
Adam Savage talked about it on his podcast, on his video podcast, and just raved about it. So, if Adam Savage liked it, I'm willing to. I can't talk my wife into going to it, so I'm probably just gonna wait till it streams on something and get it here at home. But um, I do want to see it because
it does make me want to go back and watch Prey again. Um, but the actress in the movie, um, Elle Fanning, she does a good job. She plays two androids in here, and she plays them very differently. The guy who plays Deck, the Yautja in this, he learned to speak the language, and I was watching a couple of behind the scenes like publicity interviews that the cast is going around doing, and he sat there and recited like a paragraph of Yautja dialogue off the top of his head. I'm like, holy fuck, because he sounds cool saying the words in the movie, but
yeah.
I just kind of assumed that he was like modulated. The
Oh,
guy just speaks it, and it's really powerful when he does. It's awesome. Yeah, yeah, I have a feeling this movie will lead to future Predator movies because word of mouth has been good. Box office was good. Um, um,
what has not been good for box office was the new Tron movie, and
ooh,
on that note, the HasLab did not fund even remotely close. I think they maybe 1,000 backers on that, and they needed 10,000 backers. Uh,
yeah,
As we had
They,
talked about that on a previous episode too, and neither one of us thought that. Well, JD was pretty sure that it would not fund. I was like, it might. I figured it might fund if they had some stretch goals, but they never announced anything else. It was just that offering. And again, it was, I don't think it was unreasonable. I think it was not enough for what they were. I don't think there was enough product for the price. I think they should have scaled it back. I don't know.
I'm
I,
not really sure.
I don't, I think it's too niche of it's, we're 35 years on from the original movie, almost 40 at this point. Uh,
Yeah.
maybe even, what year did Tron come out?
1982.
So yeah, 40 years on from that,
Yeah.
and
So,
change almost so it's it was
well,
niche, I think.
and the second Tron movie came out 15 years ago,
Yeah.
like 25 years after the original movie, and it it
It wasn't
it
that
has a devoted following, but not a large following. It's a niche. Like it made some money, but not enough. It's
and I don't
No
remember
Tron movie has ever been a
no.
huge success theatrically. They
And
tend to find their audiences later, and this one probably will too. But this was an abysmal failure.
yeah.
Um,
I heard it wasn't I from everything that I'd seen, the people that had gone to see the new Tron movie said it was good. Said
yeah, I've heard a lot of good things. What I just haven't heard it from a lot of different sources.
no. And that's the thing. It's like I don't remember the original Tron movie being very good. Um, as with all
Blake,
science fiction stuff, I mean, like the black hole was a fantastic idea. It was a horrible movie. They they ran into so many problems with special effects and practical effects that it just bogged the movie down. And this was Disney's like second foray into science fiction, and because they were watching Lucasfilm just rake in hand over fist with Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, and they're like, we want a piece of that pie, and they tried with Black Hole and Tron and failed miserably.
I've seen the black hole once. I saw it when I was a teenager. I remember being disturbed at the fate of the people when that robot started spinning those blades around, and I'm like, oh, this got dark real fast.
Yeah.
But I Blake and I watched Tron on Disney Plus a couple of months ago just because he had seen the trailer for Tron Ares, and he knew Tron from the Disney Infinity video game because there were figures for a couple of the characters from Tron, whatever that movie. I can't remember what
2.0,
it
I
was
think
called.
it was. I think it was
Um,
2.0.
yeah, that was yeah. So and he knew like the light cycles and the light car. He knew them all from that video game. And then we watched Tron a couple of months ago on Disney Plus, and he liked it. He said that he wanted. We I asked him if he wanted to watch the second Tron. He said not yet. So I think we'll get around to it. I have a feeling when Tron Ares is available to stream, he will probably want to see the second one. Then we'll probably watch it. But yeah, I heard from a few people on Facebook that they liked it. The podcast I was listening to,
Yeah.
the two of the five people on the podcast had seen it and they liked it. But like they said, they were the only people in the theater that were there, and they were there opening weekend before Halloween, and it was just there was nobody else there.
No. I am also a little miffed that they chose had so this HasLab was, from what I understand, supposed to be a possible foray back into 3 and 3/4 inch action figures for Hasbro. They were using this to test the waters. I think choosing a niche property was a horrible idea for that particular to gauge interest. because you picked a property that's 40 years old and was niche to begin with. And I don't think that's a good representation of the collectors that will buy that scale. I think if they were going to do something, we had talked about non-Star Wars, non-GI Joe HasLabs that have funded, and that usually comes back to Ghostbusters. They had just done an O-ring set of Ghostbusters, so I can kind of why they didn't use Ghostbusters property for that, but that would have been a good one to try that with.
Ghost, yeah, like, all right, well, yeah, last year we gave you the O-ring Ghostbusters. Here's a chance to get all the original Ghostbusters and maybe Lewis, Tully, and Dana. We'll throw them all in there
Yeah.
for a HasLab. And honestly, that would have brought people out of the woodwork. I
Like,
don't think that would have had trouble funding at all.
it's
Whether there was a vehicle or not, or whatever they did with everything beyond just the humans, or or they they really just Star Wars Vintage Collection, GI Joe Classified, uh, uh, Ghostbusters. They really are the only surefire.
Transformers to some extent.
Oh yeah, Transformers. Yeah, none of those have had trouble funding. One of them had to get extended a little bit to
And
unlock all the things, but
Marvel Legends has hit or miss.
Marvel Legends was good with the HasLabs right up until they launched the $280 Ghostbusters or a Ghost Rider car with the flaming wheels, the flaming engine, and the price tag that everybody said, "Fuck no." That was the first just toy based, like figure based HasLab that went that high for the price.
Yeah.
And then for Marvel, and people are like, no, not for just the car and the Ghost Rider that drives the car. And like, I think there was Mephisto and two other stretch goals, and
I don't remember.
eh. But it wasn't. But otherwise, yeah, Marvel Legend, like the Sentinel and the something else and something else, they all do well. Transformers, they never have a problem funding Transformers. Those go like crazy. They always unlock the stretch goals, and they've got time to spare.
So I think a 3 3/4 inch Ghostbusters, the Tron figures were not O-ring. They were more of a modern design. So I think if they had done a modern version of the original four Ghostbusters from the original movie, you could have had stretch goals with, like you said, of Dana, Louis Tully, Janine
Janine,
would have been perfect. You could have done the Ghostbusters in the dark gray from Ghostbusters 2. Um,
Stay Puff Marshmallow Man, bring out a Sentinel size one of those. People would go nuts.
the Demon
Um,
Dogs from the first movie
oh yeah, yeah,
would have been a
yeah.
good stretch goal. There's this could have been a huge project. They could have done the Ecto 1, they could have done Ecto 2. I mean, I really think they missed trying to push back into this scale by using a very limited a product that was very limited, had a very limited audience.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna take the wrong. I feel like they're gonna take the wrong lessons from this now,
Right.
and they're
Same.
gonna look at it and say people don't want that scale to come back. When what they should be saying is, "Wow, we really fucked up by introducing this with fucking Tron."
Yeah.
Um, and
Because
but
if those figures had come out by themselves individually at, let's say, a $22 price point, I probably would have thrown down for those.
you know, or somebody said, what if they had been the first made to order um action, or you know, like, well, no, I take that back. They introduced made to order thing, I think, with Mephisto, but If they had, yeah, they said if but it was like the price was high and the minimum 10,000 backers. Honestly, I think optimistically they should have been like 5,000 backers, um, to get it going, and they really just, or you know what, even if they'd done, you know what, let's just bring in ancillary Transformers characters. Here's all the humans you didn't have toys of. Here, have it. I think those would have gone crazy, but yeah, I don't know, Tron.
Either. But you bring up the point that I was eventually would have gotten to is that I hope that they don't get the wrong message from this, that there aren't people that want 4-inch figures. Really, I am one of those people that want 4-inch figures. Yes, I have spent most of my money this year on 6-inch figures, but there's a reason for that. Um, just due to, oh, hey, there is a new toy announcement now that I think about it. Uh, the new Hiya Toys G.I. Joe figure was just announced. Actually, two figures were just announced. They're doing a Crimson Viper, um, which
Yeah.
just looks like a repaint, and I think
Oh, the Alley Viper. That's right.
the Alley
Um,
got announced,
the
which
Alley Viper with the gray armor, the gray gauntlets, and I'm like, oh, that looks really fucking cool. Now I'm like, well, now I'm mad the 6-inch version doesn't look like that.
and
Um,
no backpack. I don't know that
oh,
anybody noticed that, but
I was gonna say I didn't even catch it. It didn't have a backpack. Weird. Okay,
the first
but
thing
it's got the
about
shield. It needed the shield. So
of course, it had to have the shield, but the first thing I looked at, which was one of the things that I absolutely loved about and hated about the 25th anniversary version, was the grappling gun was removable from the backpack. I
yeah, that's right.
I absolutely detested that in the vintage version. Because I played with that figure endlessly, and I always wanted to take that grappling gun off and use it. And it was molded to the backpack. And then in the 25th anniversary version, it came off the backpack. It didn't go back on the
I
backpack.
was gonna say
On.
once it was off, it didn't stay on, but
Yeah,
it was neat that it was removable.
fine.
Um,
It's removable. They eventually were able to get it to work with like the Pursuit of Cobra line, but even that one was kind of dodgy at best. But so that was the first thing I looked at the Hiya Toys is, have they solved the grappling gun problem on the backpack? And the answer is they did not even like, nope, we're not even gonna fucking touch that. It doesn't come with a backpack.
I
Oh,
didn't notice the lack of backpack, but now I understand why you're annoyed by it.
yeah, glaringly obvious.
The the I guess it's kind of one of those. Wait, like the Viper and the Trooper, do they have backpacks?
They do.
Okay, so the Crimson Guard comes with the back. So why the fuck didn't the alley? Oh, that's really weird. Then I thought
For
maybe
the
if the other
grappling gun,
troopers didn't have them, maybe they were just
my guess,
avoiding backpacks. But
my guess is they tried to do something with the grappling gun and they couldn't get it to work and they scrapped it. That would be my guess. Hang on just a second.
yeah, go for it.
So that's my guess is that they probably tried to solve the uh, grappling gun problem with the backpack. Either they couldn't do it or they couldn't do it at the price point, and just scrapped it. I don't. Is it going to stop me from ordering that figure? Absolutely not. As I am probably one of the biggest Alley Viper fans. I have every version except one in my collection, and this will be no exception. So, that is one of the toy announcements. I am still continually amazed that they are putting pre-orders for these figures out. They are very far and few between on delivery. And we've talked about how it just seems not a good business model to have like an American, originally American themed toy that is not readily available in America as a
It
business.
is weird. But I'm actually surprised that it's still going because between the long delivery time between Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow and then everybody else, and the really long window between here's a pre-order and here's the shipping, and they're like 20 or so characters deep into the line now, and I honestly feel like as limited as it, and funky as the availability is, it's apparently
Sustaining,
succeeding enough to keep going.
yeah,
So honestly, that's kind of a shock.
it is.
But it is. It's also good. It also just goes to show that the audience is there. I just wish they whatever.
Which
I
was
have to
another.
assume it's some weird legal thing that the availability is what it is, but I feel like that is a thing that they should fix. And so, if the Haya Joes were more readily available, I think people would go fucking crazy for them.
People are going fucking crazy for them. The everybody that I've seen that has these things absolutely loves them. I do too. I Hiya Toys has been I've been collecting Hiya Toys pretty much from the start. They've been hit or miss on quality. The Batman, like the Injustice 2 Batman figures, I never even opened my Batman. I opened my Harlequin and she broke coming out of the box. Um, my Predator
Yeah,
figures have been pretty decent. I don't think I got any of the, I think I have maybe one or two of the Alien figures and they were pretty decent because I think I have the Promethean Alien. Um, and then yeah, just the rest of the Hayatoy stuff has been fairly decent for quality. I don't have a lot of complaints on it. Um,
I have Zartan, and you gave me Beachhead, and their quality's good on both of
yeah,
those. Um, a
I've,
few years
I've
ago,
not
I
seen any
ordered.
quality issues with the GI Joe stuff. Let's just that's where it's kind of a long way around of saying that I have not seen any quality issues with the GI Joe stuff. Um, the only like the biggest complaint I have with the line has been with Zartan, and it's the once you open the backpack, it won't stay closed. Um, but that's a pretty small beef, really.
It is.
When
It
when you
is.
think
But
about
I
all the
mean, it's an understandable one because he's got the mask, and
right,
so if it wasn't for the mask, I would have glued it closed. I think I have a rubber band holding it, or like one of those little plastic bands around it, but I almost glued it. I almost said fuck it to the mask, but the way the mask fits, it actually fits really well on the face. If it had been any sort of janky fit like the 25th Zartan had that really shitty mask, if it had been like that, I probably would have just glued it shut and said good night to the mask.
I
But
think I left my backpack open and displayed him holding the mask in one hand and his pistol in the other.
yeah, that was a good idea. Um,
But and I have, I don't know, probably a dozen of the figures, I think, at this point in time. Because we had talked about that on a previous episode, and um I said I had like six of them, and I had grossly underestimated how many figures I had, significantly. I had almost double of what I thought I had, and I don't have any major complaints about any of them aside from the backpack with Zartan. Again, I am a little disappointed that they are not including a backpack with the Alley Viper, but man, I'm anxious to see if they will do a Frag Viper in the same vein as the classified.
oh, if they do, that would be amazing.
Yeah, because if Hyatt Toys can capture that lightning in the bottle of the classified Frag Viper, I absolutely will have that figure in my collection in 4-inch scale in Hyatt Toys because it will be phenomenal. Phenomenal. And I sure hope they're going to do a Night Viper at some point in time.
Well, I mean, it only took Hasbro fucking 5 years to get around to it, so maybe it'll be sooner with Aya. Maybe. Um,
I don't think I don't think that it will
well,
because it's been
maybe,
almost.
maybe it'll only be 3 years till the Night Viper pre-order is out, and maybe it'll ship at the fifth year.
Who knows? Who knows? But there was so I was wrong. There was a toy announcement, and it was the Hayatoy's Alley Viper, which no doubt will be eagerly awaited. If you are wanting to get that, the online retailers that I recommend are cooltoyclub.com and Locker Toys. I don't have a site address. Their site address, Locker Toys site address is really weird. Google it, it'll come up. Um,
um, a cool toy, whatever that you just cool toy
Cool
club.
Toy
What?
Club.
What? Yeah, that is where I ordered my Zartan from, and it had been sold. I had forgotten about it. I never got a shipping notice. I didn't realize it was going to be here. I got a box. I opened it. There was a Hayato Zartan. I'm like, holy fuck! I forgot all about. I very literally forgot all about it. And then I went back to my email. I'm like, did they send it to spam? No, they just didn't bother to tell me that my eagerly awaited Zartan was there. I mean, it was a great figure. He looks really good with my fixed and updated modern Zorana and Xandar. He's certainly better than all the shitty 25th Zartans they made. The only good Zartan they made in the modern line was the desert
Yes.
the desert Zartan from the Pursuit of Cobra line. And even then, by the time the released version came out, it no longer had the Arnold Vosloo head. They had gone back to the really shitty 25th Zartan sculpt with the hooked beak nose, and it was just too tiny for the body. So whatever. The pre-production versions that we all got in eBay had the Arnold Vosloo actor likeness from Rise of Cobra, and that head sculpt on that body made that one of the coolest Zartans that they ever made. And they've never gone back to that look for Zartan. They've never updated it. They've never gone that far off the beaten path again with Zartan. And it sucks because almost all of Pursuit of Cobra was so many great revamped
Yeah.
versions of so many Joes, different, similar, so they're recognizable, but they were still different versions we'd ever got. There was a Jungle Duke, there was an or like a urban beachhead. Um, um,
Yeah, the
there
whole
was
is just phenomenal. We've talked about
yeah,
we have at least two different episodes on Pursuit of Cobra. Uh, we've
probably.
reviewed Pursuit of Cobra figures um, on this on the channel, so be sure and check those out. As an aside, uh, one of we do have JD has some classified figures to unbox. I don't know if I showed these on the last episode, but I found the cards for the
You did find them. Okay.
yeah for
Um,
customizing challenge. They were where they were supposed to be. I don't know how I didn't see them, but uh,
I told you you'd find them when you weren't looking for them.
and I sure did. JD's gonna unbox something. I was just gonna do a quick review. Everybody already has this figure, I'm sure, uh, which is Shooter. Uh, there was a sale on Night Force figures on Walmart last week. So Big Ben, the Night Force, Tunnel Rat, and Shooter were all on sale for $10 a piece.
Holy shit. Um,
And I've been on
well,
the
I
fence.
remember you texted me and said that Shooter was $10, but I already had her. Although I will say, I have lost both of her fucking hair pieces because what I was gonna do was glue my favorite one on, but I didn't. I fucking lost them both. Um,
Do you want
fucking
the other?
um,
I can send you the other one because I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, you know what? Just yeah, send it to me this way, and I will glue it on immediately.
I
But
was gonna fuck, I forgot what I
yeah,
was gonna say. Shooter was a great. Hey, did you ever mail the Cobra Diver?
no, I'm gonna mail it Friday. Wait, no, that's Black Friday. I will mail it on fucking Saturday. Because it's still in the box over there, and I drove by the post office yesterday, and I'm like, fuck. I never even thought to bring the damn diver to mail it.
But I really like Shooter figure. I think it's phenomenal. The rubber gun, man,
Oh, you know what? If the gun was made of good plastic, it would still be fuck ugly. As it is, it's shitty plastic and it's fuck ugly.
I
Um,
I I did a gridiron order for her. I like the figure enough that I ordered her a gridiron gun, so I've got that coming. JD's gonna unbox some stuff, and then I'm going to do a figure review. It's the coolness factor is that it's an exclusive. Everybody has already we've already reviewed three other versions of this figure on this channel. So, well, while JD's opening that, I'm gonna just show it off real quick. It is the clear version of Monster Force Operation Monster
ooh,
Force, the Eraser from
ooh,
uh,
nice.
Legion's Con. So
Um,
I have here all three versions.
oh, the first one was purple. Okay, I
No,
couldn't remember what the. Yeah, that's what I remembered you getting. Oh, that's cool.
so there are all three versions of the exclusive figure, and then I have um, the official regular version right here as well.
That is one fucking amazing picture. I have seen some photos of those figures posted in that Operation Monster Force group that honestly, some of those pictures, they look so good. They could be like if you didn't realize they were action figures, you'd think it was like a Hollywood setting for these. Like
Yeah.
the way these people photograph their toys, it you're waiting. Yeah, you're waiting for them to just start moving. And I do not mean in those shitty animated AI videos.
No.
Those drive me fucking crazy.
Yeah, they do.
Um,
I am of the same mind to that. You know who's really good at that? It's Julian.
so first thing I've got to do with wetsuit is push the damn belt down because in the package it was his belt. The secondary accessories drive me nuts most of the time, but in this case, it's riding way up to. Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna have to heat it up. Yeah, it should be down here on his waist, riding up here, but I'm gonna have to heat it up because it doesn't stretch enough to get around his waist. But he's good right out of the package. You know, it's just nice seeing Wetsuit's face in the toy line because 1986, the cartoon comes on. Wetsuit always has his helmet off.
Yep.
In the toy line, we didn't get to see Wetsuit's face until 1992 with the yellow and black wetsuit that was released. And that was the first time we could take his damn helmet off. And
And that was a
I'm
cool
really
thing.
glad that
I remember buying that figure. That was one of the last Joes I bought, and I absolutely love that. The
I've seen a lot of bitching about Leatherneck, and I don't know why.
I don't
He looks like he's phenomenal. The only thing I don't like is the camouflage. The camouflage that's there isn't bad, but on the side of his legs, there's one splotch of camo and the rest is just blank. The 3 3/4 inch leather neck that came with the Cup and Sergeant Slaughter Transformers crossover set has the same problem.
ah,
And I'm going to have to paint extra camo on the legs. But otherwise, I've seen some bitching about Leatherneck being short. and the sculpt being soft, and I don't see any of that. He
I
looks
don't.
fucking good.
Yeah, and I did. I think we did the. I think I unboxed him on the show when he came out,
I think you
and,
might be.
and I don't. I did not have any complaints about the figure. I thought it was a solid a solid representation of the real American hero figure in the classified scale. And
Yeah, he's got all the essentials.
yeah,
I mean, I like that the tan middle of the shirt, which was always a little, it was an interesting look, but it never made a lot of sense. I like that Classified just said, you know what, we're gonna make that into the flak vest, and but they sculpted. He's got the rank sculpted onto the collar, and he's got the walkie-talkie on his leg, just like the original. He's
yeah.
got I don't know, he's a good figure, and he's got the unit patch from the vintage line. Um, I don't know,
I
he's a
didn't
good
have
looking
any complaints.
figure.
I don't remember the weapon being even. I think even the weapon wasn't too bad. I mean, if, of course, it's the soft rubbery stuff. Um, and
I did order a couple of weeks ago. I ordered uh a new a new weapon for each of them
uh,
from Gridiron. I had a feeling they'd be rubbery, even if they. Yeah, you're right. I think that M203 that comes with Leatherneck, it's not a bad sculpt, but I was wondering about the material. But the Gridiron had a M203 looking thing that they called the slap. Oh yeah, this is actually made from pretty solid
yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember it.
plastic.
I don't remember
Yeah,
it being horrible, which
yeah,
I
it's
was
yeah
just
the
which just makes
barrel's
it
not
even
bent or anything.
yeah, it just makes it even more annoying because it's like, okay, you can put decent weapons with these guys, you just choose
Yeah,
not to. Also, between Gridiron and Operation Monster Force, clearly you can make decent weapons in this scale that are not bendy weapons like core weapons, but still
uh,
have you can make decent weapons, is what I'm saying. I mean, the Operation Monster Force stuff proves that you can have decent weapons in this scale.
I remember 2 years ago when they were putting out the 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 boxes that were all cardboard that didn't have the windows on them,
Yeah.
and every GI Joe gun out of the out of the little paper sleeve that they came in were rubbery as hell.
Yeah.
I remember my Range Viper came with one that was practically bent in half,
Yo,
and
you sent me that
the
picture when you opened it.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't. None of these weapons, Leatherneck's weapon, does not have that problem at all. Um, so I mean, Leatherneck. I mean, at least this wetsuit came with a pistol because the original wetsuit did not come with any sort of offensive weapon.
No, not at all.
But he's a SEAL. He was going to need a submachine gun. So yeah, when I made a Gridiron order before Halloween, I I ordered a new rifle for each of them, so it'd be ready when they came in, and I got them last week, so just in time. Um, I really love wetsuits flippers. I
Oh,
love this style of them.
sweet.
Um,
Yeah, I hadn't seen. I've I've kind of been avoiding pictures of some of the new. My pile of loot at Big Bad Toy Store is getting big again. I think I've got. I checked it yesterday. I think I've got 45 days until I have to ship it, and I have a lot of stuff in there again already. So I've been avoiding looking at pictures of stuff that I know is in my pile of loot, which is wetsuit, sci-fi, Grim Viper. There's a couple Marvel Legends figures. Again, we'll do a big unboxing and review on that when I get that stuff in, probably towards the end of the year. Who knows if some of that stuff will make the end of the year list. But I do. Ooh, I do want to
Oh, look at that.
nice. I do want to
You can
say that
actually see through the visor a little bit, just a little bit. Not on my shitty camera, but
yeah,
um. Oh wait,
I do want to say
yeah,
that JD and I are doing our this will be our third annual top 10 acquisitions list. Um, yeah, man.
yeah. The hoses, they move around, they swivel. They're not going to pop out. I'm not going to have to. I'm not going to have to tighten them up with super glue. They're in there pretty well.
Nice.
So, all right, I'm pretty happy. I've been waiting a long time for leatherneck and wetsuit in the classified line, and I'm happy with both of them. Um,
Fantastic. But so anyway, stay tuned. We are going to do our year-end uh top 10 top 10 toys of the year. Um,
I can't believe that it's that time of the year again.
I
It
know.
wasn't that long ago that we were putting together our top 10 acquisitions from 2024. And it's almost December. I don't know where this year went, but I mean, I am putting my list together, but I'm in awe that I have to put my list together already because where the fuck did this year go? Dude, you guys left here like more than 6 months ago.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, this it I was thinking the same thing a couple of times. It's like I was telling Emily, I'm like, I am doing a year-end customizing review of all the customs I made this year. I kind of fell into a lull. Normally my lull is early spring, but I fell into a lull at the end of the year this year. So normally this is a big time for my customizing, but I have like one project working right now. And I'm stuck on that because my printer won't print water slide decals very well anymore. So
Oh shit, that's not good.
now I'm gonna have to get a new printer next year, I think. Um, but I so yeah, stay tuned for two year-end episodes coming up. JD and I will do top 10 toys, our top 10 toys, top 10 acquisitions of the year. Um, and I will do a review, just like a very quick, I'd say quick, but it'll probably be a long video because this year I've made more customs in one year than I ever have previously.
Which is saying a lot because there's been a few years where you just like you what is it up into the 70s? Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
Over 70 customs this year. Uh,
you know, as much as in the classified line, I don't want to see all vintage remake updates. A lot of times I want to see, a few new things here and there. These are two characters that honestly, traditional back to version one, start there and go from there. Honestly, I'm perfectly content with them. If they want to put out some of the later versions, that's cool too. But the backpack not just has a peg here, it's got two pegs that plug into the holes on the back of his gear.
nice.
So hopefully, this backpack will be a lot more stable than most of the classified backpacks are.
It's
Hopefully.
funny you should say that because I have been thinking recently about we had gotten we had gotten into talking about I think it was Lifeline about how we were really anticipating a updated version of that figure and we were both disappointed by that and somebody had called us out on that and said, "Well, which one do you want? Do you want do you because they said we've seen you say both that you want updated versions of those figures and then you want faithful recreations of those figures."
It
You know
depends
what?
on the character.
I think they have a valid point on calling us out on that.
I
And
mean, I do too. We are contradictory. We're human.
yes,
But at
but
the same time, there are characters like these two. I'm perfectly content with them going back to the version one. Now, lift ticket, if and when they ever do lift ticket, whether the tomahawk is considered or not, I don't give a shit. Honestly, he is one that I do not want to see a recreation of the vintage figure. The vintage figure is boring. Uh, it's colorful for reasons that I can't even fathom. I don't like the color scheme on it. Uh, he's one that when they put out the 25th version of Lift Ticket, that just was a really questionable parts choices, but it was just an update of version one. Fuck. I'm like, wow, I somehow dislike the 25th Lift Ticket even more than the original. He's one that honestly, when they went more realistic with the retaliation tomahawk they put out, where he just had the plain fatigues and the realistic helmet, that is what I want to see in the classified line. I know they'll probably go back to version one, but Lift Ticket is one where I don't want to see that. I want a better helicopter pilot
Yeah.
and less of that goofy looking bastard.
So to answer that question, as JD said, it depends on the character. It depends on my mood. It depends on a lot of different things. I think that is the beauty.
You know what? The
Yeah.
mood is a good point.
I think,
Sometimes I look at my toys and I'm like, they should do more. And sometimes I'm like, it's beautiful. Look,
yeah,
I didn't think I wanted a retro Flint because I was okay with the classified version of Flint. I didn't mind the armor. I didn't mind the updates they made to him. I did mind that he didn't have black boots. That drove me nuts. The brown boots annoyed the crap out of me. But Flint, I was perfectly happy with the Flint that they brought out early in classified because I love Flint. He's a great character. I didn't think I needed a retro version until I saw the retro version, and I'm like, oh my god, they really just took the original Flint and they said, here's extra details. And other than the head sculpt on that figure, I fucking love that figure. So yeah, depends on the character. Some characters I want more faithful than others, and some I really want them to start. You know, I want them to go outside the box a little bit.
yeah. So I don't have an answer for that. It's like but I think that's the beauty of the retro line is that we can have stuff like Metalhead updated and we can have Flint updated and we can have whatever particular figure floats your boat updated. But the retro line, yeah, I
I like the update. I like that it's a different design than the original.
yeah.
I like that it's more clearly a thing for being propelled. The other one, I mean, the other it was all right. The original was all right, but this one's more compact, more modern looking. I gotta say, yeah, the person who you do make valid points, but there are some characters I'm okay with them just going retro with it.
Yeah. So
Um,
it really just does depend on
hey,
the particular character and a lot of different factors. So I mean, I like both. I think Lifeline I think the fact that they have done an updated version of the original figure that worked well in the 50th anniversary or is that Pursuit of Cobra or whatever.
yeah.
The fact that
You know what? Here's the other thing. There is a third category. I mean, that you can use sometimes where uh it's a matter of do you want them to take the original and just up the ant a lot, or do you really just in which case that's kind of perfect for me. Like if you're gonna take the original design, go to fucking town on it like they did with that Snake Eyes, the version 4 with the red goggles. Fuck me, they updated a lot on that. I love that figure.
I think a good
It's
example
just faithful
is
enough to the original to be obviously that,
yeah.
but they made him, I don't know, even more badass looking.
I think a good example of that is the Desert Scorpion.
Yeah, yeah, where they're faithful to the original design,
Yeah,
but not to the original figure.
right.
They basically, with Desert Scorpion especially, he had like the two-tone thing going on with the uniform, where in this case he's just got the black pants. Um, but they updated where they needed to, they added detail where they needed to, but they were savvy enough to know that people love the Desert Scorpions. Let's just do that, but let's make it kick ass. Where there's some cases where Darklon, he's the sculpts, it's the sculpts on like the sculpt on his mask is better,
Yeah.
but he's still Darklon. He's one that honestly, if they had been left faithful to the original, and I don't mean just the colors, I just mean he's not a character that ever worked for me. And I thought they went faithful with the original, but kind of dialed it up to 11. And he's one of the rare cases where I think that really doesn't work because now it's just extra Darklon and
I
it's not great.
100% agree with that. There's you've
Not
nailed,
great.
yeah, on very rare occasions. So JD and I either are diametrically opposed or we are 100% in agreement. Very rarely do we is there like any middle ground. It's either we are nope, you were wrong and let me tell you all the ways in which you are wrong. Or
Tripwire is the worst. I like the modern figure, but Tripwire is still the worst. Um,
though it's not. It's not.
he's
It's one
still
of the best
crap.
figures ever
The
because
Stinger driver is still boring.
no, it's
Um,
fantastic. It is the
Still
first.
boring. Um,
So I mean, but that's JD's hit it. It's like I was looking forward to seeing Darklon come out. I did not have the figure as a kid. I remember it from the comic book. I felt like it was a fantastic idea that had poor execution, and I was really looking forward to seeing what they could do with it. The figure looks amazing. The sculpt is phenomenal. He looks like a circus clown.
he does. They darkened all of the colors so he's more subtle
Yes.
because really the olive drab or the olive green that they used originally, and he had the bright red pants and the weird shade of brown that was supposed to be leather, I think, but it didn't. They 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 darkened all the color palette up, and that didn't really help.
No,
I
but
mean, it improved it, but that didn't really help.
to me,
It's still just
he went from circus clown to emo circus clown.
yeah, okay, yeah, I can go with that. He's a character where I don't really think he's ever really worked particularly well in figure form, but
What I would like to see somebody do, and I'm going to throw this challenge out to anybody that's listening. Um, and if you do this challenge, we will have you on the show to unveil the figure. I want to see Darklon in Iron Grenadier colors. I think the sculpt is interesting enough that if you are able to, and I have looked for this particular, see if somebody has done this particular custom. I have not found anybody that has done it in any scale, in any, whether it be vintage form, new sculpt, or classified form. I have not seen anybody tackle this particular
you
project.
know,
And I've thought about, hang on, I've thought about doing it myself, and I looked at the figure and I almost picked it up. And I'm like, I don't know if I mean, because painting is my thing. I'm like, I don't know if I can pull this off or not. That's what I want to see. I want to see somebody do Darklon and Iron Grenadier colors to see if the character slash figure is salvageable in that regard. So there it is.
some
There,
of the Iron Grenadiers, the base Iron Grenadier and then Destro, they're all black with red highlights. Then some of the Iron Grenadiers go a little off the beaten path. Voltar went off the beaten path, but he still had the gold, so he looked cohesive. The Wild Boars came out; they're bright red and black. They work. Undertow, well, see, Metalhead was in the same colors, but Undertow was different, but he was muted. He still worked. The nullifier was real different. He was all khaki, but that's because the nullifier was originally meant to be a Cobra Law
Yeah,
character. Supposed to
exactly.
be it was supposed to drive a very insectoid looking motorcycle, and when Cobra Law went over like a lead balloon, they canceled the bug cycle and anything that they had planned to expand on that, and they put the nullifier with Destro's anti-gravity pod as
Yeah.
the pilot instead.
Yes.
Um, so I wonder if that was a vehicle that was originally supposed to come out without a figure, and then they're like, "Oh fuck it, just put the nullifier." Which is why I think he's pretty substantially differently colored.
Yes.
And then you got the ferret, which is here.
Very
The
light.
top half is Iron Grenadier, and the top half looks like he's wearing khakis and Crocs. So he's not. So sometimes the Iron Grenadier can vary a little bit, but Darklon in just the black, red, and gold, oh, man, that would look nice. I think.
I
I
think
mean, it would still be Darklon, so it would still be weird.
it would, but
Um,
I want to see somebody do it, and I want to see somebody do it well to see if it to see if it can negate the weirdness factor. Because I
yeah,
think
because I've seen lots of customs of Darklon over the years, not specifically version one in the original colors,
yes,
but like different like
take
in the new sculpt era, I remember seeing a bunch of different dark lines. People would use different parts from different toy lines and whatever, and all try to see if they could see if they could uh up the coolness of dark. And honestly, I've
exactly.
seen some mildly successful things, but I mean the 25th line didn't even go near Dark Lord. The club made a couple versions of him, one that was faithful to the original and terrible, one that was a little off the beaten path, closer to being an Iron Grenadier. Still not great, but they tried. Hasbro just avoided the character for years. Now they went back and they did it, and I'm like, God, he could have been awesome, but he's not. Um,
So
but
yeah, I want to see somebody pull that. So there's customizing challenge for the masses. Do get a dark line, do it in Iron Grenadier colors, see if it works.
see if you can make us a fan of Dark Lawn finally. Damn it! I mean,
And I still
also
may
with that,
do it. I still may do it. I'm gonna Black Friday is coming up. If I can find one for a cheap price, because I'm not gonna pay full price for it. Um, which full price? That reminds me of another toy announcement that JD and I were talking about. This whole show is just stream of consciousness today. We had no.
yeah, we were yeah, we were just doing this just because I wanted to unbox these, but yeah, we're sort of flying by the seat of our pants on it.
So, Star Wars Vintage Collection made an announcement yesterday or the day before. They are
Oh,
coming out with the TIE Advanced, which is Darth Vader's TIE fighter, for a
the
price of
TIE X1 for you really big nerds.
$140.
They are out of their fucking minds. I know it's a brand new sculpt of the TIE X1. I know that it's hyper detailed. It's got the cockpit accoutrement. It's got it's an all new. I mean, it looks fucking dynamite. The
Uh,
Vader figure that comes with it, I think, is new too, or at least mostly new,
I
and
didn't.
he's cool looking too. But $140 fucking dollars. You know, I thought Poe Dameron's black X-wing at $100 was a lot. I thought the E-wing at $100 was a lot. Honestly, now those two seem like bargains
They
compared
do.
to
That's why.
$140 for Vader's tie. I don't care how detailed it is. It is a TIE fighter with a figure.
Yeah,
Why is it $140? That is crazy.
and that
Um,
I did not buy my E-wing. I wanted that so bad because I remember seeing that fighter in the comic books when it came out, and I absolutely loved it. And when it finally came out in plastic, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta have one of those. And then I saw the price tag, and I'm like, I'm not paying $100 for that. So I asked for it for Christmas last year, and that's what my mom got me for Christmas last or My mom or Emily got it for me for Christmas last year. I don't remember who. I think my mom. Um, that was the only way I was gonna get it was to ask for somebody else to spend that kind of money on it. And I do. I love it. I think it's a fantastic vehicle. I really enjoy. I'm glad I have one in my collection. But man, and I am a huge TIE Fighter fan. I have a bunch of different versions. I've made custom TIE. I have my two custom TIE Fighters over here that I really need to sit down and finish someday. But since they're vehicle customs, I never finish vehicle
You
custom.
probably won't. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but and I do not have a TIE Fighter Advanced in my collection. And I was like, ooh, here's a hole in my collection. I might want to fill that. Let's see what because I saw it come up in my Facebook feed yesterday. I'm like, ooh boy, TIE Fighter Advance. I wouldn't mind having one of those hanging from the ceiling. And then I saw it was 140 fucking dollars. And I'm like, oh no way.
Yeah. Don't need it that bad.
No.
Um, uh, with Leatherneck, I will say I'm glad that he has the life alert bracelet, just like the original. I kind of wish that it was enclosed a little bit better.
Hmm.
It's gonna pop off of his wrist if I. Damn it! It didn't need to be completely enclosed, but I wish it had like just a smaller opening. I'm worried it's gonna fall off of his wrist.
I don't even fucking remember that. I'm gonna have to look at that now.
Um, I mean, I can glue it in place, so and it's mostly because it's not that I don't want it to be removable. I don't want to lose it.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
So I like that it's removable, but I wish that it was enclosed more. So you had to take the hand off to move it, like the watch. You have to take the hand off to take the watch off. I kind of wish that the the life monitor was the same way. I have no idea what it is, but I always figured it was a life alert bracelet. Um,
Uh,
I mean, I don't know what it was supposed to be, but that's always just what I thought it might be. Um, Anybody who remembers the Ewok movie from the '80s, the Battle of Endor, knows that the Tawani family all had bracelets on their wrists that all beeped electronically when their life signs were. So when poor Sindel Tawani's entire family died, she looked at her bracelet and all the lights were off, and I'm like, wow. Pretty sure I was 6 when that came out. Pretty sure I've been traumatized ever since. I'm like, damn. I know a lot of kids are like, oh, Bambi's mom. I don't remember any of that shit. But Sindel's poor, her entire family gets wiped out on Endor. I'm like, well, that's fucked up.
I'm wondering if they're supposed to be ranger beads.
You know what? That's possible. I
Yeah.
honestly, until now, where they made it removable, I've never actually thought that hard about it. Because the original leather neck, it was part of the sculpt, but I don't think it was painted. If it was painted, most of every leather neck figure I've ever seen has had it flake off, kind of like the silver Cobra sigil on uh
Viper pilot.
the Viper pilot, or like the Iron Grenadiers, the gold would sometimes rub off. Maybe that's what happened with leathernecks, or maybe it just wasn't
I don't
painted because the new leatherneck, the O-ring leatherneck that came with Cup and Sergeant Slaughter has it painted too. So, but this time they actually made it removable.
I
Because I think the 25th version,
I don't
because
remember
he
that
was just a
at all.
repaint of somebody else, I think they left it off too.
I don't remember that at all. I'm gonna pause it real quick. I don't know if I have a vintage leather neck in my collection, so I'm going to have to look. So hang on just a sec. All right, so I do have a vintage leather neck in my collection. It's actually in fantastic shape. Um, and it is painted.
Okay. So most of the ones I've seen then over the years just have the paint rubbed off. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's a bracelet and it is open on the back, so I don't think it's supposed to be ranger beads. For anybody that doesn't know what ranger beads are, they're they're beads that are on like a string of like paracord, and as you're marching, as you go a certain distance, you move a bead, so you know how far you've traveled.
um, wait, he's a Marine. Do they wear those too? I don't know. Um,
I mean,
actually,
that's the only thing I could think that it was is when you said it looks like beads, and I'm like, the only thing that I could think of that would be practical would be ranger beads. And just because they're called ranger beads doesn't mean that that they haven't been like the Marines don't use them, but
I
I
don't know. I'm curious now.
I
I
don't
wonder if
I don't know what else that would be because it is
uh,
on the vintage one, it is open on the back like it is on the classified figure. So,
um
and it can't be a medical alert bracelet because you would not be allowed at that time, you would not be allowed to have a chronic medical condition and be in active duty military.
that makes sense. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. I suppose that's something even now you probably have to get a waiver for it.
Yeah, they're a
Um,
lot more lenient on that because I remember right before I went to Afghanistan, they tried to get me because I was in the Navy and I got sent home because I have epilepsy, um, injury-induced epilepsy. So they sent me home from the Navy, um, and then probably about 2006, I got an email, letter from um, DoD asking me if I wanted to re-enlist because um, they had changed that status, and I could probably, as if it was controlled by medication, I could go in back into active duty. And I was like, yeah, I just got married and no, ended up going to Afghanistan a couple of years later as a civilian contractor anyway. So, um, but when these figures came out, you could not have a chronic medical condition that would warrant having a medical alert bracelet.
uh, so I wonder what it was originally.
I
I mean, I'm glad, even though it's a mystery what it is, mystery to us, anyways. I'm glad that they chose to include it.
yes,
Um, um, um,
but yeah, it's painted on the vintage one. I'm guessing I got this figure from in that collection from um, the friend of the family because it is in such nice shape. He took really good care of all of his stuff. So those are some of my better vintage Joe figures for sure.
um, this is this really this really brings me back to why I always liked the original wetsuit figure. All except for the helmet thing. I mean, I know why he didn't. Torpedo didn't have a removable helmet either. At the time, there were some figures that have removable helmets, but they probably didn't want it to look clunky. But it's
So
I
what gun did you get him?
uh hang on. I'm gonna grab it. Hang
All right, let me pause it real quick.
on.
I
It
didn't know how far away you were.
it looks like it kind of looks like a better version of the
Oh, yeah.
that torpedo. But yeah, I need a little submachine gun for the seal to carry because the pistol that they gave him is a nice sculpt and it fits beautifully in the holster. I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about it flopping out, which is good. But he needed a rifle of some kind.
Yeah, he does.
Um, but yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
now
good.
the the M203 I got for Leatherneck. I think they on the gridiron site they call it the slab side. I think
Okay.
I'm not really sure what they mean by it, but
Ooh.
all three, but it's got like extra apertures or something on it. I don't know. It's just really cool looking.
Yeah.
Um,
At some point in time, I want to go back and do that. get him that. I want to get that gun for mine as well. I should have got something else when I made my order for shooter, but I was like, yeah, I just I just really want the gun for shooter. I really like the figure. I'm glad I've been on the fence about picking up shooter for a long time, and had been looking for her. But she'd been out of stock a lot of places, and it's not that I didn't want to pay retail price for it, but I didn't know how much I would like the figure. Oh yeah.
Oh, kick ass. Yeah. Sweet.
But having in the figure in hand, I really do like the figure, so I figured she was worth getting a weapons upgrade for. Now I need the 50th anniversary one, which I don't have for my collection.
I had it at one point. I don't know if I still have it. I could look for it. Um,
Yeah, you've probably customized it though.
yes. You know what? Scratch that. I'm relatively certain that I did customize it.
I don't
I
doubt.
I think yeah, I think I did. I want to say I probably added camo or something to the trouser. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. Oh, I'll have to look.
Yeah, but she is not a cheap figure, unfortunately.
Um, no, but it was the first figure of her, and boy, am I glad that they went and they put her in the classified line. I
Yeah,
had mine pre-ordered when she came out. What, 2 years ago?
I
Oh
remember
yeah,
that
it had to have been 2 years ago because it's when they had the damn it.
because I think you did the unboxing on the show.
Yeah, I think you're right. Damn it. Yeah, his bracelet. Oh, the bracelet fell on the floor when I was trying to put the, which is why I put it in his other hand initially. But then when he was holding it across his torso, the knife handle was interfering with it. So yeah, yeah. Oh, kick ass.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. So yeah, they did a good job with both wetsuit and leatherneck, other than adding a little bit of camo to uh, leathernecks trousers. I'm happy with both of these figures.
I cannot wait to get my wetsuit. I of course am a huge U.S. Navy SEALs fan. Uh, Mostly because Torpedo was my very first GI Joe figure. Um, and I thought it was a shit figure until my dad told me, he's like, number one, read the file card, and number two, he says there isn't anybody more badass than Navy SEALs, and he was right about that. So that has created a lifelong enjoyment of that particular special forces branch. And um, I've been lucky enough to work with some of the guys overseas and know a few of them, and they've all been fantastic guys. You will never meet anybody more humble than somebody that has been a SEAL. Um, and Wetsuit shares my first name, so I have a affinity for that as well. I am looking forward to getting mine, but again, I am waiting for the mask stuff to hit my pile of so I can have all of that at one time because right now I've got Budo, uh, Wetsuit, Sci-Fi, Grim Viper, all in my pile of loot. Uh,
um,
as an aside, there is for anybody that's passed on it, there is a Black Friday sale for the Marvel Legends Ghost Rider Danny Ketch with the cycle. $35. This
that's
thing.
like, wasn't that like a half? It was like a half price set.
I think it said 40%. So
Yeah,
40.
because I was gonna say because they did Ghost Rider, they did Wolverine, they did Black Widow, all with their motorcycles,
Yeah.
and they all go for well on the secondary market they go for a mint, but they were all like yeah $50 or $60 when they came out. So
Yeah.
that is that is a bargain.
Uh, I I wanted that figure when it came out, and then I saw this like $64 price tag, and I'm like, no, not a chance. I don't
Fuck
want it
no.
that bad. So I passed on it, and then I saw the Black Friday deal, and JD kind of talked me into it because I was like, I don't know. And JD's like, yeah, I get it. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right.
I
Uh,
was gonna say you're never gonna see it that cheap again.
no,
Um,
I also
um,
have the Gamerverse Punisher and Nick Fury set in my pile of loot.
uh, oh, that's why you asked about the diver.
Yeah.
Because at some point, because yeah, Brian and I decided to split the Nick Fury Punisher set. I'm taking Nick Fury, uh, and he's taking it. Damn it, cats, shut up! They're fucking up my concentration. They're fighting in the basement. All I hear is you sound like alley cats. Knock it off. Um, bye, Alice. Um, but yeah, I got distracted. I don't know what I was saying. Um,
We're doing the trade for the Nick Fury for the Cobra
oh
Diver.
yeah, that's why because I bought the Cobra. I bought the mustard and ketchup diver because I took the yellow guy. Brian wants the red Cobra diver. So yeah, well, I wanted the yellow guy because I'm like, you know what? He looks a lot like he's supposed to be the Sunbow diver uniforms. My eyes always thought it was a little closer to orange than yellow, but you know what? I fucking like the figure just the way it is. It's fine just the way it is. So yeah, I'll send you the diver, and then um, um, yeah, and then eventually I'll have that Nick Fury, which is good because he's. I prefer the second Nick Fury because I'm not a purist. By not a purist, I mean let's put it this way. My favorite actor is Samuel L. Jackson. In 2002, when I opened, or 2001, yeah, 2002, when I opened the first issue of Marvel's Ultimates, which was the Ultimate Universe version of Avengers, there was a Nick Fury that looked just like Samuel L. Jackson. And I'm like, holy shit, that's Samuel L. Jackson. So he hooked me right from then. And then later, when the MCU came along and they cast, well, because wait a minute, hang on. The I remember reading uh something. There was an interview with the guys behind Ultimates. Maybe it was Wizard or something,
Probably.
where they asked about that, and they said it wasn't really conscious, but once they realized, holy shit, it looks like. And then Samuel L. Jackson later, uh, somebody had given him the comic. He's like, "Did you know about this?" No. So of course, when the MCU started, they sought him out, and that's good because he probably would have sought them out and be like, "I want to play Nick Fury." So basically, my favorite actor, playing one of my favorite characters. Um, that's I'm a little biased, but fuck the original Nick Fury. I've been a fan of since Brian told me to read Jim Steranko's Shield comics all those years ago, and I've been so basically in my Joeverse, my head canon. There's two Nick Furies. There's no question about it. There's just two Nick Furies. It happens.
And there's nothing
Um,
because I like JD said, I grew up um my comic book when I got into comic books, it's because I found G.I. Joe comic book at the grocery store. I'm like, holy shit, there's a comic book of this. I was not into comic books at all. I would always look at the advertisements for other comic books, and I'm like, who's this dude with the claws? And I recognized that's the Hulk, and that was the extent of it. And I didn't care until I got into high school, and then one of my buddies was really into comic books, and because he was into GI Joe as well. He had a big GI Joe collection. He had the GI Joe comic books, He's like, if you like G.I. Joe, check out The Punisher and check out Iron Man. He says, I will guarantee you will like both of those. And I did, hooked ever since. So when I got into Iron Man,
Still two of your favorite characters.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely. When I got into Iron Man, I started going back and looking at other appearances of Iron Man. Nick Fury was very integral to early Iron Man comic books. Um, and the Jim Steranko art is just some of the most phenomenal art that you will ever see. I've met Jim Steranko once, probably one of the coolest guys I've ever met, certainly one of the coolest comic book artists I've ever met. He was a phenomenal guy to meet. Um, he just I brought a specific issue for him to autograph, and he looked at it and he's like, when I was drawing this, I was sitting there drawing it, and Stan Lee stuck his head in the room and said, and just went off on this story about how Stan Lee, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna do my own fucking thing, and just and he just he's a showman, and I just absolutely love Jim Stranko. I love the art. Um, I had picked up, I had won a shopping spree, and as part of that, I picked up Nick Fury versus Shield, which, if you can get the graphic novel, it's a 5-part, 6-part miniseries.
it's fucking awesome.
It's amazing. It's just amazing. It just turns the whole, like, everything you've ever known about Shield on its
The
ear.
the
And
World
like,
Council, the World Council that we saw in the MCU that
it,
Nick Fury and Alexander Pierce were, it was introduced in Nick Fury versus Shield.
yeah,
Um,
the whole I mean, I've net it was the first Marvel comic that I ever read where they took the whole, like, Marvel universe and turned it on its ear. I had never seen anybody do that, like, in a comic book before, where they have taken everything they've established up until this point and just turned it sideways. And you get that feeling in Winter Soldier when you find out, like, everything that you thought
that
was
you knew is a lie. Yeah. Um,
that. I think
um,
that's where that comes from. Is I feel that's where that comes from, is what they did in Nick Fury versus Shield.
I agree with that. Oh, wait, and I think Alexander Pierce was introduced in that comic too.
Uh, Alexander Pierce, I think, died in that comic, and then
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because he dies early on. But yeah, I remember when I saw the casting announcements for Winter Soldier, and they said Robert Redford is as Alexander Pierce. I'm like, oh, sweet. I always liked whenever the MCU would bring in characters from the comics, and yeah, that was, boy, Robert Redford played the hell out of that part.
yeah.
And when they got him to come back for Endgame to play Alexander Pierce again, I'm like, fuck me, this is awesome.
I
Um,
think I saw an interview with him recently that said that he really enjoyed doing that, and that he was glad that he had that opportunity to do it.
um, may he rest in peace. I know we just lost him recently, but fuck me, what a great actor.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
um,
I don't know that we have anything else for this particular episode.
no, I don't think so.
JD was going to unbox Wetsuit and um,
Leatherneck.
Leatherneck. Thank you. I'm like, who else did you? Because I keep thinking of the guys in this particular wave. I'm like, that it wasn't one of the guys from this wave. It wasn't one of the guys from this wave. Um, so yeah, I don't think we had any other. You picked up Mainframe.
Uh, I did pick up Mainframe, and the very first thing I did was put him under a hair dryer and switch his legs with the gray breaker.
Ah,
And it is not because the reuse of Tunnel Rat's legs made him a little bit short. It's not because of that. I like that Hasbro went with the two toned gray outfit or uniform for Mainframe that he had in the Sunbow cartoon? Because I always found the original figure to be a little boring because he's just plain gray from top and bottom, and I liked it. I always liked the Sunbow version. It was just it popped just a little bit more. But the gray, the slightly darker gray that they used on the pants in the Hasbro version, it didn't have enough color contrast. It wasn't nearly as obvious as it looked in the comics. So I had the breaker body. I'm like, eh. So I put the dark gray from the mass device version of breaker
Right.
because it's the right color of gray that it contrasts perfectly with Mainframe's shirt. And I'm like, all right, that's it. I didn't mind the height thing. I'm like, the color things drive me nuts. But yeah, and I really, I bought that figure. I like Mainframe. I've always liked Mainframe. Mostly, mostly he was a must-have because in some parallel universe, him and Zorana got together and they made a daughter named Zoe Parker, aka Data Frame. And I Ryan created her as part of a challenge, a custom challenge where he decided to imagine what their daughter would look like. And she exists in my classified head canon because I like that character so much. I made this figure out of I want to say, Apex Legends, some non Hasbro figure. I made it a year and a half ago. It's been sitting around waiting for a long time for her dad to show up in the classified line. So now I can get family photos
Yes.
of Mainframe, Xandar, Zorana, and their niece. I love that episode of the Sunbow cartoon, Computer Complications. I loved it. At the end of it, they're making fun of Zorana for dreaming about the wimp. The wimp they were talking about, you know what? Mainframe was in the army, and then he went to combat, and then he got out, and then he worked in Silicon Valley, and then he joined again, and he went Marines instead. He was no wimp, damn it, Dreadnoks. They don't know what they're talking about, but um, they're also unapologetically stupid, most of them. But yeah, so Mainframe right out of the box. I switched the pants, dude. He's fucking perfect now. I love that they updated the Real American Hero gear, but they added details and they added extra equipment. He looks really good. And honestly, I'm surprised, but I prefer the hat head sculpt with the mic over the helmet. I didn't really expect that, but I think I'm going to keep him in the hat. I like it.
I think
Um,
it might be I've been trying to decide what to ask for my mom for Christmas, and it's always I always want toys. And it's like I'm old enough, I don't need socks. I can buy my own socks and underwear. I'm old enough that I want toys again for Christmas to so I can enjoy Christmas as like I did when I was a kid. And that's why I asked for an E-Wing fighter last year. And my mom got me a the TIE Interceptor when it came out in the vintage collection. I mean,
nice.
I have a bunch of toys that my wife and my mom have gotten me for presents over the years, and I canceled my pre-order on Mainframe because I spent so much money on the Operation Monster Force stuff. I'm like, I have to cut back.
Mainframe was the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah,
Um,
I cut back on a bunch of the stuff that I had ordered, and like Mainframe, I canceled a bunch of stuff.
Here's my 6-inch classified custom of Zoe Parker. She has purple hair just like Brian's original did, but I bought this is a Craniac head that I bought a long time ago. It had the mullet, but it had the short, spiky, punky hair, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna paint that metallic purple. I had to cut the mullet down a little bit; it was too long. But yeah, I've been waiting just a long time for to have a. So if anybody wonder, I don't think I've ever photographed her other than when I sent a picture of Brian with her in Mainframe and Zorana the other day. But
Yeah, and I don't you have the my version of it.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, she's on the wall up there. Um, Uh, should I go get her?
Yeah, why not? Let's have a look at it because that's it's very rare that I don't have my customs. As you can see, don't I don't do commissions anymore, and so if I make a custom, I have it. So this is one of the few customs that I have. JD has a couple of my customs that like I
Well, every time we do a custom challenge, Brian likes to do a Sunbow reference for me because he knows I'm a big fan. And in this case, he surprised the shit out of me with this. There's Zoe Parker with her gray fatigues and looking dressed like her dad. He's a Marine, but has purple hair. So she's a little bit dreadnought, just like mom. Um, let's see. File name Zoe Parker, primary military specialty computer technology, secondary military specialty infantry. Birthplace Chocoloskee, Florida. Grade E5. The apple didn't fall very far from the tree. The daughter of computer GI Joe computer specialist mainframe and Dreadnought Zorana flash drive. Sorry, I said her name wrong before. Is about as tough and smart as they come. She was raised by her mother and picked up all the tricks of the trade when it comes to disguise and infiltration, and looked to be headed down the same path. However, following a discussion with her father, she enlisted in the Marines and never looked back. The quote on the bottom of her file card is: the other Joes were a little reluctant to have the daughter of a dreadnought on the team until they found out that her first mission was to single handedly infiltrate Cobra Island and upload a virus into their computer system that shut them down for a month. That and the time she put Leatherneck in the infirmary after he made the mistake of questioning her loyalty. And you thought father was tough. Hey, I can get a picture of her beating up on Leatherneck too.
uh,
Now,
her
um,
her place of birth is an Easter egg from the comic books.
okay. Well, I mean, like Florida swamps, something to do with the guy that even I didn't realize
Uh,
that part.
so when they introduced um yeah, when they introduced Firefly and Wild Weasel, they send them to an address in Florida, which is where Storm Shadow mailed the homing device that was in his
Okay.
so that is the town that he mailed it to. So that is where the original Dreadnought's lair is.
I didn't even know that. Wow. Now I've been educated. Um,
That is an Easter egg to the very early comic books. Oh,
so yeah,
yeah.
yeah, there she is.
Yours is definitely more of a has more of a Dreadnought vibe to it, which I like.
Um, but yeah, I sorry, my camera sucks. Um, I will I will when Brian posts this, I'll tell him to link his custom to it so you can see the proper high res images. But I love this character so much that I'm like, no, I need a classified version. So and now I get the whole family. Her uncle Zartan just doesn't really know what the hell to do about her. Of course, he's got his own problem child on his hands with Zanya. So
Yep.
um but
It's
yeah, that's really all we had.
yeah,
Anybody who stuck around through this whole episode, thank you.
yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Uh, as always, please do that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Stay tuned for our year-end episode where JD and I will pick our top 10 acquisitions of the year. I have my list, like I said, mostly together. Waiting to see if I can get stuff in hand that is out. I'm waiting to see if the mask stuff's going to make the list before I finalize mine. I am also going to do a year-end review of my customs. I last time I checked, I think I'm up to 76 customs this year, 74 somewhere in there. So I'm going to start putting that together pretty soon. Because I don't think that I'm going to get much more done this year. So there will be that. And
Er,
we,
You know what? Early next year, we'll do an episode where our top 10 classified top 10 figures we want to see in classified updated version. Because last year, or at the beginning of this year, we did one of those. And from our lists, between released figures and announced figures, they've cleaved both of our wish list to like half. So
and it's
there's always more that we want to see. So we'll put revised top 10 wish lists, and we'll do an episode early next year.
and it's funny you should say that because I was going to suggest that myself anyway, um, because I had some really weird ones that I wanted to see.
Um, yeah,
So
I got some weird choices too. The fact that last year or last time I wished for Slice and Dice, I figured they'd get there eventually. Did not expect those two to get knocked off my list within 10 months of that. I'm like, wow. So now I'm coloring outside the lines of some of my choices here.
yeah, I don't remember what I wish I'd written it down, and then I'm sure it'll come back to me before we do the episode. But when I do, I'm gonna write it down because it was
I
like I'm
I
like,
feel like I'm gonna listen to that episode again because I want to hear what our choices were.
yeah, I definitely need to look at the episode again just to make sure that I don't pick the same guys over again. I mean, there are some that it's like I really want this particular figure. Any of
And
this,
they still haven't knocked it out right.
yeah, like
Um,
the Heat Viper and the Toxo Viper version one. I really want to see in classified. I want to see him.
the Heat Viper is on my list of shit that I never want to see in the classified line. All right. Admittedly,
I
I
would
would
bet.
like to see what they would do with it in the classified line, but
I
it's
bet.
still a Heat Viper.
I bet when they do, when and if they do it, it will be as cool as the Frag Viper, and you will have to have one.
That is a very tall order, sir. This Frag Viper is so much fucking better than a Frag Viper had any business or need to be. They fucking made it one of my favorite Cobra Troop. I think it's elevated to one of my favorite specialty Vipers that I never used to give a shit about before. So
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, it's we do have other content planned. And then of course, as stuff comes out and stuff gets announced, we will always do that. Oh, the only other thing that I wanted to mention is how geekery are we on our show? I am drinking Nuka Cola, which is the beverage from Fallout.
I was gonna say, somebody's actually making that now.
Yeah,
Uh,
I got a thing in Nuka grape. Grape soda is one of my favorite things ever since I was a kid in Dreadnoks. Drank grape soda. So yeah, I am drinking a Fallout grape soda. Nice.
I've given her Leathernecks Hasbro M203.
It works. Uh,
Um,
so until then, please do all that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Uh, Take us up on the customizing challenge to do Darklon in IG colors.
yeah,
Let us
please do.
know, let us know if there's people that you want to see on the show. Um, I I I don't think we're ever gonna get Bill on the show. He says that he'll do it. He says that he wants to do it, but he won't get back to us. So,
I feel like
and they've started their own show, their own podcast. Um, and I absolutely detest one of the guys that's on there. So their producer's kind of a just really irritating person. So
I watched an episode and a half. I didn't find him to be irritating, but I totally understood where Brian's coming from, even though he didn't irritate, because there are certain podcasts, there are things that, like, I watch YouTube reactions to things, and there would be like the one person I'm like, no, I can't watch your videos because hold off. Look, sometimes I watch Brian's figure reviews and his tutorials off his channel because it's like hearing the podcast, but without me being in the way. So I appreciate anybody who listens to this,
Yeah.
and this isn't put off by one of us. That's great.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. So we do appreciate all the people that do watch, like, comment.
Absolutely.
Um, if there's customizers or people in the that you want to see on the show, let us know. We've been pretty lucky about getting most of those people on. The the Grindhouse, we got Scott on, we got Skeletron guys on a couple times. Um, when the Longbow stuff comes out, those guys are going to be back on the show. Um, I wanted to get Troy on the show to talk about Mask at some point in time, just Mask. So we'll probably get Troy back on the show. We talked
Oh,
about
that's right. He's a big nerd over Mask too.
huge, huge, almost as big as GI Joe. I think he has a pretty full collection. I don't know if it's complete, but that's one of the things that I'd like to talk about. And he lives in my
I'd like to talk to him about that. So
so yeah. Um, we had talked about getting AVAC on the back on the show, because I don't think we had him on since we've
we're
done.
working on it. He's busy. Um,
Yeah, it's kind of the end of the convention series for everybody. So, um, but yeah, if there's people that you want to see on the show, let us know in the comments, and we will try and make it happen. We've been pretty lucky. Unfortunately, the one person that I want to get on the show, we have had zero luck doing. So,
we're even making contact.
yeah.
So, you know,
So it is what it is.
I'm not bitter. It's fine.
I am. Because I really want to talk to him about this stuff. Because
All right.
every
I'm
time.
not bitter. I am mildly irked.
Yeah.
Um,
So, but until then, like, share, subscribe, comment below, and thanks for watching.
Thanks everybody.